Welcome to Bob and Allison's on Lanai Island. Here we have a loquat tree that we bought from the Palama company, and it's been fruiting pretty nicely. Then we've got a little seedling started from Frankie's of a lychee tree. We're kind of excited, but as you can see, it's got a long ways to go. So here we have one of my favorites, Achcahcha. So it's got a ways to go also, protected well because the deer get hungry on Lanai. In the back there we have regular apple bananas and a little red apple banana behind, which has a very great flavor. Here's our starfruit, and we've got some nice budding flowers, so we're excited that we may see some fruit. They tend to come out in the winter time. Here we just put in a pulasan, and we have some nasturtium on the bottom, which are good for pollinators, which it won't need for a while, but they'll take off some of the pests. Plus it has a nice orange color for it. Well, we'd heard that upcountry Maui gets some persimmons. Ours are going kind of slow, and we had to take it back once. We got these on Etsy, which were good. They sent us 3 of those. So we've got the white Longon, and we got this from seeds from fruit that we got at Frankie's nursery. And by seed, the Longon seems to take longer to fruit, but we're excited to get that for a little different variety of our Longon. Jackfruit should be in a few weeks. We're excited about this one. It has a bright orange flesh, which we find to be a little more flavorful. It tastes a little bit like bubble gum. My wife Allison, she did a heavy cutting at the top, but it seems to thrive and is fruiting very nicely for it. This Jabaticaba has been in here since 2016, and pretty good, but not the great fruit. We were looking for this nice grapes that will come of a fruit looking on the limbs itself. Then here's another Longon from seed. This was the type that was raised by UH. It's a bigger fruit. It's not as sweet as the smaller, more natural Longon, but we're hoping to get that to fruit here this year. Then we've got a nice avocado going here. Another jackfruit. This will start. We were able to get our jackfruits from seed to fruit in just 4 years. Oh, looks like we've got a nice of the dragon fruit here. This is the smaller variety that's a bit sweeter, but when they're stressed and they hang over, they tend to do better. So this is another mangosteen. It's from Frankie's. It's a little more of a white variety, probably rare, but not as sweet as others, but I keep shade on it. Most of the mangosteen will do well with shade. On this side, the pomegranate we cut back. The pomegranate does quite well when it's cut back. We just cut it back to see if we can get some bigger limbs. The fruit does come out of the new bursts of the limbs, so we're looking for that. The one that's kind of fun is this one that's like little champagne bubbles. This is the finger lime, and we're excited. We got this from Nature Works over in Maui. It's coming along. I've thinned it out a couple of times. Then over here this was from seed also, but it's an Abiu. It wanted to come out as like a bush, but I took it down to 1 limb, and we'll see if that continues as happy and healthy. And this was inspired by our friend Brad over on Oahu. He's got a real collection. He's got aquaponics and the fish growing, and he's feeding his plants. But we were talking to Abiu, and I was able to get a few seeds, and this one's really taken, so we're kind of happy about that. And we want to compare notes and see what else Brad's got going for ideas. Looks like we got a few papayas, but they're mostly the males. And the males is they don't have a waist on the flower bud, and then they won't fruit that well. So these 2 will probably come out. The Suriname cherry's been giving us great fruit, but the birds love that too. Here's one right up here. You can see a couple of them, but they'll really burst forward when that gets going. And we've got another citrus a tangelo that's been kind of slow going for us. Some of the pests got into it, so my wife planted some more nasturtium around this to try to keep it off. We have some yellow tags to try to catch some of the bugs that are eating the leaves on our lemon. A new plant just the last couple days is our soursop. Our apple bananas, these are tasty ones. We take the keikis out and give them away around town to keep the populace, with good bananas in town. These are the little small ones starting with the bud, and then up above us there is what they will look like in about 8 months, and that probably has another couple of months. It's a little slow to ripen up here. Here we've got a turkey fig, which I think this is from NatureWorks again. It's pretty healthy. It's been fruiting already for us. Balata is kind of a favorite of mine. So this is from Frankie's nursery, and just from seed, and I'm quite excited on this. It's a very flavorful. It looks a little bit like the Longon, but then a big seed, not too much of the flesh, but very tasty. That'll get rather large, so we're going to try to trim that. Here's another Loquat. Needs some thinning on the inside. I've done it a couple times, but it seems to really want to grow close and together. That's been pretty hardy, which is nice. Then we have a Achcahcha here, but it's been pretty slow to be going. It's probably some rougher soil that's behind this one. And then we have a Mapalehu mango that we're quite excited about. You see a nice burst of leaves. We're at sort of 1700 elevation. It might be a little high for this to fruit, but we put it in the sunniest part of the yard. So we have a Achcahcha. We were looking at this for NatureWorks, and they had the Brazilian cherry. We didn't realize that's the same plant. So that's coming along pretty well. This was one from seed. This is a little yellow Longon. So it's the sweeter. What I tend to prefer is the smaller one. It has a fair sized seed, not as much flesh, but very tasty. You can do this as a bush or something. Then one of my wife's favorites is the pomelo. We keep trying to cut it at the top so it'll expand. We're not getting as much change that way, but it's been strong and healthy right here. And then from my friend Dr. John in Maui is we have two Imbes that are coming along quite nice, and they've got a ways to go to fruit, but we appreciate that John gave us the fruit to get that started. Here's a little purple mangosteen. They've always been difficult to get growing. If you see, we have it all protected on tops and sides. It doesn't like wind. It doesn't like too much sun when it's young. Then here is the red Longon, ruby red Longon. So I'm letting it look a little bit more like a bush and trying to get that to fruit. And on this side, we've got a dwarf orange. We've been very patient. Apparently, I cut off the one branch which had the budding fruit on it, but it just hasn't been fruiting for us yet. But we like the size, and that we hope to be seeing that fruit. A new one that we have that we're excited about is the black Lolita. This was from Frankie's. It was grafted. It's already been fruiting. It's only been in the ground for 3 months. Very flavorful, very small fruit, kind of big seed, but very flavorful. That it's nice to already have that fruit. We're kind of excited about our durian. We've got one in the ground, and this one's coming up from a seed from Chinatown. Langsat we just got from Nine Waters in Florida. They fly that in there and do it with just the roots, but that started out well. And then this is our lines where we put in a lot of our young seedlings. Many are raised from seed, and we can give them good regular water. So there's Abius in here, and lemons, and sugar apples. Some of the favorite things we're trying to get. We always like to have a kaffir lime available for some nice seasoning and such. So a lot of our starter plants are starting to get into a few more flowers then also, and that's the durian that's really looking pretty healthy. I think our friend David out at his farm here, he's already spoken for that one. Well, thanks very much for joining us over here on Lanai. We'll see you again, and we'll try to give you an update.